Hello everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, converting taxable distributions to tax-free income. Part 3 in our series on tax-favored retirement strategies with retirement consultant Jamie Hibbard. Welcome to the third segment, Jamie.
Thanks again for having me.
Well, I like it, and I'm glad we defined the two things that we're going to need to talk about where we're going on this. So we've already talked about Roth IRAs in the second segment, and cash value life insurance, which may be new to our consumer audience. They always think it's protection. We're talking about a plan. Most consumers, hey, I know what my 401k is. I know what an IRA is, right? I even kind of maybe even know what a Roth IRA might be. But most people go, what's a profit sharing plan? Because my company doesn't offer it. I've never heard any of my relatives being in a plan like this. What is a profit sharing plan?
A profit sharing plan is it's a type of qualified plan that's set up at the corporate level. And what it does is it allows you to make tax-deferred contributions to the plan, similar to other qualified plans. But the one thing that is so important about the profit sharing plan is that it is one of the few plans that allows you to purchase these life insurance contracts that we talked about in the last segment.
And there's going to be a real big reason why we think that's important.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so it's one of the few qualified plans under ERISA that'll allow us to put cash value life insurance in it. And there'll be a big reason a little later on why we're going to talk about this, and it's a big deal. Okay, now, I've noticed that profit sharing plans, you could, if I want to make sure I got this, I could take, if I go to a new company or I start a brand new profit sharing plan, I could roll over, am I correct, my 401k, my IRA into this plan.
Absolutely. That's one of the strategies and one of the benefits of the profit sharing plan is that you can take these monies that you have from your other plans, whether it's your IRA, your 401k from your last employer, and you can transfer it into this new profit sharing plan very easily. So
there's good reasons to consolidate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so some of these plans I've had in the form of 401k or IRA, I've had for a long time. And I noticed that under profit sharing plan, you have two different buckets that you talk about of seasoned money.
Right.
Give me the 2-year and the 5-year. Let's do the 2-year first.
So the 2-year rule basically says that any funds inside this profit sharing plan that you are using to purchase life insurance have to have been in the plan for 2 years.
All right, the actual monies have to be in the plan.
The money itself.
Seasoned money.
Correct. Over
2 years, 24 months. Okay. All right, what's the 5-year plan then?
What the 5-year plan says is that if you've participated in this profit sharing plan for 5 or more years, then all your money inside your entire account balance is able to purchase life insurance.
All right, now if I have a 401k out here and I roll, and I've had it for a long time, and I roll it into the profit sharing plan, what is the jurisdiction? Where does it go?
It goes into the profit sharing plan itself to purchase the life insurance.
And is that under the 5-year rule or the 2-year rule?
It would probably be under the 5-year rule.
Okay, so once I have seasoned money and has to qualify under those two definitions that you just gave, now my money's in there. I'm still doing. I didn't pay any taxes to roll it in there. It was an institution.
No taxes at all, correct.
All right, no, but I'm there. I have my seasoned money. Now, I take my seasoned money, which I can use for life insurance now, right? Only seasoned.
Right.
So if it isn't seasoned, if it doesn't qualify under the 2-year rule or the 5, I can't use those funds for life.
Can't touch it.
For life.
Right.
Okay, but now let's just say we've moved our monies into the profit sharing plan and we're ready to purchase our life insurance. And under your thinking, right now, predominantly you use indexed universal life.
Correct.
Predominantly.
Big fan of index
insurance.
Big fan.
And one of the big reasons, again, is that the crediting part of the equation, the crediting side of the account, can never be lower than 0 in any 1 year.
Yep.
Now, of course, we don't participate in dividends, so that's the trade-off, but I don't lose any either. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Now, I purchased a life insurance contract in the plan. I'm assuming, does the plan own it? Do I own it? Who owns the plan?
The owner and the beneficiary of the policy itself is going to be the plan.
The plan itself.
Correct.
Now, I've noticed that when I put life insurance in qualified plans, I have this thing called the economic benefit tax. What's that all about?
So what the economic benefit test is, it's a way for the IRS to basically determine how to split up the death benefit inside the plan so that you're paying your fair share of it that allows the death benefit to stay tax-free.
Okay, so let me just repeat. So they're looking at not only the cash value, that's a benefit by itself.
Exactly.
But now they're saying that the death benefit has another economic value to it, and that should have a taxable equation to it.
Exactly. So inside the cash value life insurance policy, inside this index policy, you have a cash value, which is, as far as the IRS is concerned, just like a normal account balance. If you have 100 grand inside that bucket, It's just like having 100 grand outside of the bucket. But like you said, there's this other benefit that occurs that's unique to life insurance contracts, which is called the death benefit. And if you were to pass away with this policy inside the qualified plan, then that is when the death benefit would be recognized. And the IRS says, I want to make sure that you're paying your fair share for that small portion of the death benefit.
Is it expensive? Well, let's just say as a single, let's say I only have one person in the contract. Single case, is it expensive? Is the economic benefit tax that expensive? Generally,
it's a pretty good deal. It's inexpensive, to clarify.
So they're using, I think, what are these? I think that today they're using, what, the 2001 rates?
Yeah, it depends on your age and the amount of death benefit that's actually inside the plan.
And you could put a married couple in this, couldn't you? I mean, couldn't there be two people on the plan?
Yeah.
And the economic benefit tax would actually be even less then.
Yeah, because they'd be using a different set of tables.
I love that.
Inexpensive. They say we now have 2 lives instead of 1 life. There's more chance that someone's going to live to be a ripe old age, and it's going to be less expensive.
All right, so I have my plan going on. Now, in this plan, from a design point of view, we're not buying this for death benefit anymore. You said we're flipping it on its head, right?
Exactly.
So we're doing it for cash accumulation.
Yep, we want to have the most efficient contract we have for accumulating cash for retirement.
So I want to be the least amount of death benefit, but there's a couple codes in here we have to obey. I think one of them's TAMRA, the 7-pay test.
Right.
I have to actually comply with TAMRA. Let's say, well, I don't want to get into it today, but we want to say we're complying with it, and we're buying the least amount of death benefit under the TAMRA regulation.
All these rules are just specifically designed to make sure that it is a life insurance policy under the IRS's guidelines. And we strip out as much death benefit as possible in order to get as much money to the contract as we can possibly.
Okay, so let's say I designed it in the most efficient way with the least amount of death benefit under the code that allow it to still sustain the TAMRA compliance regs.
Right.
Okay, now I have this accumulating. How long do I want to do this? How long do I want to keep this in the plan?
As short a time period as possible, but you can't go too short. Generally between 3 and 5 years is the window of opportunity we're looking to, at some point, purchase the policy outside of the plan.
Okay, now when we roll, we're not rolling it out in a distribution then.
No.
We're actually purchasing the policy. Because if I rolled it out, I'd be paying a monster tax.
Exactly.
So how do I purchase it? Sounds like I also need liquidity outside to do this.
Yeah, so life insurance inside this qualified plan is unique because life insurance is one, if not the only, type of asset you can actually purchase from your qualified plan. In order to do so, they say, the rule is that you have to purchase it out for what its actual value is. So insurance companies have their own tests, ITR, PERC, and it's different between each insurance company. But the thing is that you have to have the funds outside of your qualified plan, this profit-sharing plan, in order to purchase the life insurance out. And essentially, you're switching the two, taking money from one pocket and putting it into the other.
So now, if I understood it, so I have liquidity. I have to have some liquid cash to do this.
Correct.
I buy the value, whatever it is, could be the cash value, it could be the interpolated reserve, whatever it is. I buy the contract out. Now, I've put money in to buy this out, and it's in the plan. Now, what do I do with that money? Is that going into mutual funds, Roth IRA? What am I doing with it?
We take the next step at this point, which is really the great thing about this strategy, is you're repositioning your qualified assets so that they no longer have a income tax or estate tax attached to them. So what we do is once we purchase that life insurance policy outside of the contract, we put the new liquid cash inside the contract, we then convert to Roth.
Okay, we're going to get into that big time in the next segment. All right, so I have my liquidity, I bought my policy is now outside the plan, I paid no tax, I just had to buy it out for whatever the IRS or the carrier, whatever if it's interpolated reserve or the cash values or whatever their regulatory requirement is, we're going to match it. We're going to do whatever they tell us to do.
Right.
And now that it's out, I have it. It's my contract now. It was owned, right, by the profit sharing plan. Now it's owned by me.
It is.
And they're okay with that.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So I have it, and I've already exchanged it. Now that money is in there with my mutual. I remember I rolled it earlier. We were talking about I rolled my 401k, my IRA. I got mutual funds, ETFs in there. I mean, so this money now is sitting in cash. I may not be putting anything. I may be just holding on to it because of this next transaction we're talking about, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, listen, don't forget to watch our next segment then, because we're going to talk all about this, about transitioning to Roth IRAs effectively. Part 4 in our series on tax-favored retirement strategies. And keep in mind, before moving forward with any of the ideas on the show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or financial advisor. You've been watching Steve Savant's Money for Neighbors.